Sock Passe.
What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of the Team Sock Passe podcast. My name is Glad.
And I'm your boy, Rob. We are your favorite Team Sock Passe podcast show where we interview great entrepreneurs from all sectors of industry. And remember, subscribe, share, comment below. Subscribe, share, comment below. Glad, what's up?
Big interview today. Our brother, Christopher Williams, curator, event curator. Event producer, co-founder of Where It's At magazine, our brother Christopher Williams. Thank you, my brother, for doing this.
Man, I feel like I feel large. I'm like I feel large. I feel large. Bro. That's a dope intro, man. I'm like I need to take you on the road with me, bro. You know what I'm saying?
True.
How you been, brother?
Listen, man. Thanks for having me. I just need to say my sock passe because you know
doubt.
I felt left out of that one. If I had known, I would have rolled in with it.
A Jamaican Haitian.
Yeah, listen. He's on you, eh? He's on you, eh?
Okay. Got it.
You know,
Okay,
parlay a little something, you know.
No doubt. I'm loving it.
That's
I'm
what's
loving
up,
it.
bro.
You know what I'm saying?
We got a lot to talk about today.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna talk about Where It's At magazine. We're gonna talk about men's health.
Yes.
You're an inspiration, and you're a fighter, and we're gonna talk about it for sure. And I know tonight you're gonna inspire somebody.
True.
More than just one somebody. Or
Right.
more than just somebody. You're gonna inspire a lot of people.
A lot of people, definitely.
Where It's At magazine. That's how I met.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah, for real.
I want to say I met you like at a jerk chicken or
or
a jerk hut. I'm sorry, like a jerk hut.
somewhere.
I met you at a jerk hut.
Yeah, somewhere like that.
And you came in there, you dropped off the magazines.
Yeah.
And we just started talking one day. I mean, this is what I remember.
Right.
And then we just started, and then we met, and then I think from there that's how I met you.
Right.
But then I didn't know if you knew Rob.
Yeah, and it turns out I think I knew Rob before I met you.
Right, and
So,
then you've known Rob for years.
Yeah. I knew,
Bro, we pushing, what, 20?
Yeah, almost 20 years because the
Yeah.
magazine started 19 years ago, and we met probably. So we started in 2003, and so we probably met in 2004.
Wow.
And I think it was through. Was it through? No, it was through a sister that I went to high school with.
Yes.
Oh my God, her name escapes me right now.
Yasmin.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
so
how we met.
So I'm on campus with Yasmin,
Yeah.
and she's like, yo, you gotta. I was doing comedy shows.
Right.
We're doing events and fashion shows. And she was like, you need to, I need you to introduce, I want to introduce you to this guy called Chris Williams. I said, Christopher Williams?
Like the singer? Yeah.
She's like,
No.
stupid. Like, Jamaican dude, young, and he's doing his thing. He's come out with a magazine.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, cool. And then it just...
Yeah, man.
From there, man.
Yeah,
That's
definitely,
crazy.
definitely. I mean, Where It's At was like, you know, it's a funny story with Where It's At because when we started Where It's At, originally Where It's At was going to be a website. You know, my dad and I talked back in the day. This was before the .com, the bubble bust, and I had this idea to create this platform that would take people all over. Anybody coming from Japan, China, wherever you are in the world, and you want to experience like Caribbean culture, Where It's At was designed to give you that. And then the person I was doing it with did some shady stuff, and I ended up not being able to launch the site because of his shady behavior. And so I had to pull back, and it was a little. I learned a valuable lesson in terms of intellectual property, how to make sure you secure everything, your domain name, all your IP, your trademarks, all that stuff. And fast forward a couple of years later, my dad was like, "Yo, I want to create this community paper." And he's like, but I'm having trouble figuring out what to call it. I was like, Where It's At. I was like, because we talked, I was gonna do this, and then so why not pivot into this thing? And so it was my dad's concept to create the community paper, and then he and I collaborated, and fast forward, we're going 19 years. So it's family business, man.
That's
it's dope.
Up.
Yeah.
Now, paper is expensive.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't know if you know, but I was dibbling and dabbling to magazines back in the early 2000s.
Was it Creme?
Creme was online,
right?
But before Creme, it was Urban City magazine.
Oh yeah, I remember Urban City.
And we did maybe about 8 or 9 issues. And that whole time, as there's no money, there's no initial money to start the magazine, so you gotta look for advertisers.
Right.
But when we're going out there look for advertisers, we're budgeting to get the thing printed. Paper is expensive out here, people.
It's even more expensive now. As a
Wow.
result of the pandemic, paper prices have gone up. Like they've damn near doubled. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And for you to be doing this for 19 years, brother, we commend you, man.
Yeah, listen.
How have you been able to do it?
All praise is due to my father. You know what I'm saying? That man is a miracle worker. You know what I'm saying? Because the biggest challenge, I've always had a 9 to 5. So I unfortunately was not able to immerse myself fully in it. But my dad is fully immersed. And shout out to Clive Williams, lodge up yourself. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But so he, obviously we work together as a team, but in terms of hitting the road and getting advertisers and all that, that's him all day, every day.
Wow.
He eats, sleeps, and breathes where it's at. And I eat, sleep, and breathe where it's at, but I'm more on the editorial side where he's heavy, sales, and it's a lot of work. Yes. The editorial content, getting content, getting photos, all that, it's a lot of work as well, but the advertisers, that pays the bills. So if you don't have that, you can't do the content. So, the goal is to really grow so that we can have like a solid sales team and just take it to as many levels as we can. Because the way I see it, I have another phase of my life where I'm just going to be building a media conglomerate. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Putting that out there right now. Because that's what it is.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
You had a question?
No, I was just gonna say, like, how often do you guys print?
So we print monthly. So it's a monthly publication. We're a free publication. So we distribute all over Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx, Long Island, parts of Westchester, Harlem. You
still on foot?
Yeah, still on foot. On foot distribution. Driving, but
right.
so we get into the stores and then we're online. So we're averaging anywhere between 175 and 200,000 readers. And then online, anywhere between 9 and 10,000 views per month, and that's growing.
Wow. So you guys are the community.
Yeah, we are the community. And we the goal. Our thing is we started out heavily Caribbean focused, but now we're really inclusive of the Black experience. So the focus is to tell our stories. So we tell our stories because there are not too many publications that care about our stories. So we really look to find interesting and new bits of articles or pieces that people are not readily accessible to everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I got a call from somebody who talked about an article that he saw that he's like, oh man, I didn't even know that a Black guy ran Fox Soul or something like that. So it's like there's a lot of things that are happening that we make sure to try and put in front of everybody so they see that there's more of us out here doing it.
That's
than you think.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, how is it working with your dad?
Yo, it's dope, man. I mean, listen. He and I are both Pisces. So sometimes we butt heads, you know what I'm saying? But that's part of business. I mean, you're gonna butt heads with partners and so forth. The thing is, when you butt heads, can you come back to the table and say, well, okay, yeah, you know what? You have a point and I should have listened and let's move forward. Yeah, he and I work together great. I don't have any issues. And the older I've gotten to is, when you're young,
right.
It's like, oh, young boy, you don't know. But I'm 49. So it's like, there's that respect now because obviously I've gotten a wealth of experience working in corporate America.
Right.
And working alongside him, So yeah, it's good. It's good.
Right.
I mean, so I'm looking forward to the next phase, like I said.
I'm just going to go back a little bit.
Yeah.
So Chris calls me up and he's like, yo, I love the voicemails he used to leave because he was his own hype man.
Yeah.
So the guy was like, bro, I need you Midtown Manhattan. We're doing a dope fashion show. He had celebrities out there.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Oh.
You brought me back because I was like, oh yeah, I did do that. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so the Chris back then,
right?
So now you're saying that the Chris now,
you
still have the same vision.
Yeah, still the same vision,
right? So now, how is it that? So how do you guys transition from, being on paper,
right,
and now this Instagram.
Right.
Like,
I mean, it's a lot of work. So, you know, we have to sometimes we're hiring companies, consultants to come on board and help us develop content. And that's a lot of work in and of itself, you know, and then getting the clicks, you know, because see, one of the things I don't want to get into is I'm not going to be buying, you know, like followers. I'm not into that, you know, so we want to grow organically, and that's our goal. That's always been our goal. So I stay away from that. A lot of the people that follow us when we do events, they come out and support because they're real people. And so that's the goal. It's a lot of work to do, but creating quality content and content that resonates with people that they can relate to, you know, is what's helping us. So, you know, if it takes a little bit of time, it take a little bit of time. I don't believe in rushing anything. You don't rush greatness, right? You know what I'm saying? It happens over time. And so my thing is to take the time to do what we need to do to make sure we get it right and make sure that the people can appreciate what it is that we have to offer. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, the Chris, I'm still the same Chris. You know, I'm still live. You know what I'm saying? I still know how to get it in. You know, I'm slowed down a little bit because of some other things happening, but you know, we'll talk about that. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Who are some of the people you're featuring on the covers?
I mean, we've featured everybody from Sean Paul to Shaggy, Allison Hines, Wyclef. I mean, the list goes on. Jimmy John Louis. You know, I got to shout out my Haitian people. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
You know, Zoe for life. Nah, I'm sorry.
Nah, you a Zoe for life.
Yeah, I'm a Zoe for life.
Haitian by association.
Yeah, Haitian by, you know, definitely Haitian by association because my lady's Haitian. So, but yeah, so you know, we've had, as well as politicians. You know, we've had Kerry Washington on the cover. We've had Barack Obama, Michelle Obama. No, now those were not interviews, but we featured them. You know, but all the others that I named were actual interviews. You know, so for us, and of course, like a lot of community leaders, entrepreneurs, business leaders, those are things that we pride ourselves in because their stories need to be told as well. So it's not just about the celebrities, but the people in the community that are doing the work to make their communities better. Gotcha. And so we feature a lot of those people as well. Yeah.
What events are you looking to do this summer?
So we have something going every Sunday called Rewind Selector, which is a reggae, you know, old school reggae vibe. Yeah. Old school reggae vibe. DJ Gringo is the DJ. Gringo is like one of the baddest DJs in the city especially when it comes to reggae and dancehall and Afro beats. He's been doing it for a long time and he's well respected. So he's our DJ. And so we do that at a spot in Williamsburg called The Woods. So, you know, later on you guys can follow my IG, Chris Factor, and we'll talk about that. But that's one thing. And then the big thing for me this summer is Heart, Body, and Soul, the Black Man's Health Festival. So, you know, with me, so my journey, I'll just tell you a little bit.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah. So 2015, I had my first heart attack. You know, that was the scariest moment of my life. I was 42 years old and had no idea that I was in any condition to even have a heart attack because I was in good shape. I was hitting the gym 5-6 days a week. I mean, I was in really good shape. I wasn't fat. I wasn't overweight, anything like that. But that's sort of a misconception. You think that you have to be overweight to have a heart attack. No, you don't. So had the heart attack and it was an eye opener. You know, so I didn't realize I had all this plaque buildup in my coronary arteries, didn't know all the stuff that was going on. And so now my eyes are open. So now I have a cardiologist that I go to on a regular basis, get my checkups every year religiously. I see my cardiologist at least twice a year. And then fast forward 2021, I started having these weird pains around September, some abdominal pain, my right the lower part of my right abdomen. And so like, I didn't understand what the pain was. So day 2, I woke up and the pain was excruciating. I could hardly walk. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to the ER. So I go to the ER, and then they do a CAT scan with contrast and say, hey, you have appendicitis. So your appendix looks like it's about to rupture. So we're going to have to take it out. So I'm like, okay, let's do this. Let's do it. So they wheel me in, do the appendectomy, and then a week later I go back to see the doctor, and you know, we're talking. He's like, okay, yeah, so we got the appendix out, you know, you're good to go, you know, removed your staples. It's like, so, but we noticed something, and when we were in there and we biopsied it, and yeah, you have cancer. Like, dude, what? Like, that's your delivery? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like, so I'm sitting there and I'm like, what? Come again? Just like that. I said, what? Come again? And he goes, yeah, you have cancer. And I said, what kind of cancer? He goes, well, it's a rare cancer. It's cancer of the appendix. And he's like, it's like a form of colon cancer, which is a lie. Okay, so for all y'all listening, it's not a form of colon cancer. Cancer of the appendix, it's similar, but it's a separate thing. It's a rare cancer on its own, and it's really called appendiceal cancer. And it's very rare, but like me, I'm the type of person I like to do things differently, so I go for the rare stuff.
So why did they say that you had colon or it was part of colon?
Well, unfortunately, not every doctor he's not an oncologist, so his knowledge, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
He's a general surgeon. He does appendectomies. He probably does a bunch of other things, but he wasn't an oncologist, so that's not his space. So he just shouldn't have played in that space. He should have just told me what it was, and then I go see a specialist. So because of that, he said what he said. I wasn't very confident in him treating me because he was like, oh, we have to go in and we have to do a right hemicolectomy, which means they have to go in and cut out the right side of my colon and then reconnect it. So our colon is long. Everybody has a long colon. So I lost a little bit less than 8 inches of my colon. Wow. But everything was reconnected and I'm functioning fine. Like everything is normal. You wouldn't know. I wouldn't know, if I wasn't aware, what I'm saying? Right. So if it didn't happen to me. So yeah, so the whole thing now is that I decided that I wasn't happy with his approach and his lack of knowledge in that area. And then the fact that he was pressuring me to have surgery again 2 weeks after I just had surgery. So the danger in that is, for those of you who don't know, when you have surgery, especially you have an open procedure like I did, you have scar tissue that builds up. Right. So you need time to heal. So when you go in and have a surgery again so quickly, you're doing more damage to your body than good. So you want, sometimes things can't be avoided because it may be an emergency, right? But in this situation, it could have been avoided. So you definitely want to make sure your doctor is not chasing that paper because that's what it was, to get extra money, but that they're really about you and your care. So I went, to the best of the best. I Googled, who the top doctors are in that space and found some doctors at Memorial Sloan Kettering. And they've been treating me ever since. And his approach, the doctor I saw, his approach was, I saw him in October, like the beginning of October. He said, listen, let's give it some more time to heal. Let's look at you in November. And if you're still not improved, we'll wait because this is not the cancer doesn't grow fast. The tumor is not growing fast. So we'll have some time to play with. The goal is, he's like, I want you to be fully healed. So that put me at ease because now this guy was about my care and me feeling better. Right. And then, so that was in the beginning of October, I think like October 3rd or something like that. October 8th of 2021, I had another heart attack. And that was just, I was sitting at the dining table, I was working from home, and I started feeling the chest pains. And I was like, I know what this is because, I've had it before. So I was like, all right.
It was like a real tight chest.
Oh yeah, tight chest pain, like somebody sitting on my chest. It's constant, like it's not going away. It's not, some people might think it's heartburn, so they may be like, oh, I popped some Tums or something like that. No. It's serious stuff. So it's very important that we know our bodies. You know what I'm saying? It's very important that too, we educate ourselves on what goes on. This is why I encourage my brothers that I talk to, go to the doctor, get regular checkups, know your cholesterol levels, know your, what's going on with your liver, your kidneys, all of that, because, it's information, and it's information that can help you live or, that can bury you if you don't know about it, So, so I had the second heart attack. So that changed everything. I was supposed to have surgery in November. So now I had to wait till 2022 till now because I needed to give my heart, when they're going to do a procedure like that, it was a very major procedure. Your heart has to be in good shape, right? Otherwise, you could check out on the table. Now, what I didn't tell you, the backstory is, had I gone with the other hospital, they were scheduling me for October 8th, which is the same day I had the heart attack. They were going to schedule me for that day. So chances are I would have been under and had the heart attack. And I wouldn't be here. Wow. So that's like, nobody could tell me that there's no God. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Nobody could tell me that there's no creator, no
Absolutely.
Allah, whoever you want to, whatever you want to call him. Nobody can tell me that entity does not exist, because for me, that's what that was. That was just God.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
So what do you think it was? Because you said you were in shape,
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it was a diet? Do you think it was stress level?
So it could be it definitely wasn't hereditary. It could be a number of things. So one of the things that my cardiologist hypothesized is that because I'm already, afflicted with this cancer, that it created more inflammation in the body that, crept into my heart and led me to have this second heart attack. So it's possible. I don't know, because I did a stress test in August of 2021 and I was perfect. No issues. I mean, real stress test. Like he put me through it. When he does stress tests, he's not weak with it, So it's like, running on the treadmill, fast pace, and then you jump off, and then they put you on the echocardiogram to see what's going on with the heart, and that's like an ultrasound.
Right.
And then you go back again. You know what I'm saying? So it's real intense, and I performed really well. I was doing 8 miles a day, not running, but walking from my house to Fort Greene Park. So I live in Bed-Stuy. So from where I live in Bed-Stuy to Fort Greene Park and back was 8 miles. And I would get to the park and run the stairs and then come back. So I felt physically fit.
Wow.
So anyway, but the bottom line is feeling physically fit and being physically fit is two different things. There are other things going on. That's why I said it's very important to just pay attention to your body. And when you get the signs, listen. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're feeling fatigued all the time, it's chronic, like every day you're tired, check it out, because there's something going on. It may not be heart related, but there's something imbalanced. There's something happening with your body. If all the time you've got, any kind of aches and pains in your body and your legs are swollen, check it out. Like there's all these different things that we got to just pay attention to. Any stomach aches, don't go, I felt this pain, but it went away. You know what I'm saying? And then 2 weeks later, it comes back with a vengeance. And you're like, but it went away. Go check it out, because that could be something going on toxic in your body that you don't know that could take you out. But, you let it sit for 2 years and now you're at stage 4, stomach cancer or colon cancer, because you didn't pay attention. So, that's one of the things I'm doing with this festival come June. And it's really a project that I'm creating, with friends and family to really get men, Black men specifically, because I'm targeting Black men, because we need to pay attention, right? That we need to start having more open and honest conversations about our health, because it's our health. Like your body, think about it this way. A brother said this to me. He said, how can you say you love yourself and you love your family, but you don't want to take care of you first? You get what I'm saying? You can't say you love you and you love your kids and you love your wife, you love your girlfriend, but then you ignore your fitness, you ignore your health. Then you don't love you. So we got to get back to paying attention to who we are. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Why do you think that's so? Like, as far as Black men not wanting to go to.
Oh, you want me to get into it? You want
bro,
we got time? Do we have time?
We got time.
You know what I'm saying?
We got time.
I mean, so okay. This is my take, right? You've seen what we have gone through as a people, Black people in this country. We're just going to talk about America. You've seen the stresses. You see the community and the sort of the oppression in our neighborhoods, right? Our neighborhoods, the food deserts that exist. So when you think about all the things, all the cards that are stacked against us, nobody can tell me. I don't want to hear people tell me, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Shut up. I'm telling you right now that when you look at what's going on in our communities, everything is there designed for us to fail. Now, that doesn't mean we walk right into all the steps that's laid out for us and do what it is to fail. That means we need to work harder to succeed, right? But when you're constantly feeding somebody something that's bad on a regular basis, they don't really understand or know what's good. So the people that know what's good, the people that are quote unquote enlightened, need to start sharing more and giving more and encouraging each other to do better. We have a lot of other things, that the healthcare disparities that exist, again, also in our community. We don't have the same access to quality healthcare. We don't have the same access, like I said, to quality food, quality education. All those things play a part. And so, that's why each one of us will have a responsibility. And I take this very seriously. My dad has always told me, my mom has always said it to me, you have a responsibility. When you get to a certain place in life, you have a responsibility to make sure you're giving back. Now, I'm not ultra successful. I'm not like a millionaire or a billionaire yet. But I'm somebody who's experienced something, who can share what I've experienced. And if I can share that with one person, and that one person, it resonates with them and they do something to change their life, then I feel good.
Right.
I'm not doing this, for hype. I'm not doing this for, likes or anything like that. I'm doing this because I know what it feels like to be in a place where like your world looks like it's collapsing and you have all this doubt. You don't know what's going on. But fortunately for me, I have a support system to also help lift me up when I have those days. Mm-hmm. So I created Heart, Body, and Soul Project for the intention or the purpose of, like I said, raising that awareness and over time being able to offer support to people who need it. It's something that I'm starting this year, but it's going to go on forever. As long as I'm breathing, it's going on. And then when I'm gone, somebody else is going to take up the mantle. That's the way it's got to work. Yeah.
What have you changed since all of this stuff has been happening?
More modifications to my diet. I would say for the most part, I was following a Mediterranean diet. So, fish, eggs, the breads I eat Ezekiel bread, which is by a company called Food for Life. So you can get it in Trader Joe's, Whole Foods.
And what is that?
So that bread is not your typical. So one of the things we don't realize is the supermarket sells bread, right? They say is wheat. It's genetically modified wheat. So it's not true wheat. So it's going to make you sick. It's going to create inflammation in your body. It's going to swell your stomach, all of that. So you got to stay away from that. Wheat that we get, unfortunately, in most of these supermarkets, regular delis, wherever you go buy your stuff, it's all bad. So it's better if you're consuming whole grains. And again, listen, I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a doctor. I'm just telling you what I did for myself. And so I would eat, your sprouted oat, your whole grain type breads. Another one I get is a spelt bread that I get from Whole Foods, which is like a sourdough spelt bread. I don't remember the brand, but the bottom line is these are if you're going to consume bread, that's the type of stuff to eat. And then you also have to know, like, during the course of the day, if you have, say, a sandwich in the morning, then in the afternoon, if you're going to eat anything, you can have rice and some chicken or fish or whatever. Make sure it's brown rice. It's better for you. Mm-hmm. And then in the evening, like a salad, something light, soups, things like that. So those are the things that I try to do consistently, even though I'm going through chemo right now and it leaves me extremely debilitated. Today, obviously, I'm vibrant because it's a good day today. But when it happens like that, then it's like it sucks the energy from me. So I try to replenish with green juices, fruits, and as many vegetables as I can, and definitely the soups. The soups help me, So
wow. So you literally just had to change your whole diet.
Yeah, I had to make more modifications to it. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I have to pay close attention to making sure I also feed my system with all the nutrients I need, because when you're getting chemo, it's taking away the good nutrients and it's sucking you dry. Like my fingers have changed color. Like the tips are starting to get dark. My hands are starting to get dark. They're like, I have breakouts. Like there's discoloration of my skin, my scalp. There's a lot of changes. Like I have nosebleeds. Things. All these things are tied to the chemo. And then when I get if my white blood cell count is low, they have to give me a white blood cell booster shot. And the thing about that is they said, hey, you might feel a little pain. You might get a little bone pain, but it's normal. Yo, when that pain hit, I mean, it was another level. Like I was like, wait, what the hell's going on? Like my whole body's inflamed. Like my legs, my back, you know, my chest, you know, and I was like, so obviously I knew I wasn't having a heart attack, but it was just the inflammation was real. It's so much so that I had to take an oxy, you know. So they gave me prescription oxycodone. I'm a big believer in not taking painkillers, you know, like because I like to push through things,
right?
But there was no pushing through this bad boy, you know. So I had to pop one because it's like I needed that relief, you know. But you know, it took a few days and then eventually it passed, you know. So those are some of the things you go through, man. You know.
Go ahead.
No, because I'm just like. Because we had lunch not too long ago, and I'm just sitting there, like, looking at him like this dude he's a testimony.
Yeah.
You know, and God puts us through certain things in life.
Right.
We never understand why we're going through it or why us.
Right.
But at the end, it's for situations like this.
Yeah.
To sit here and testify.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is what I went through. My job, my purpose in life. Well, this is what it.
So you said that it's important for us to be aware and be grateful for these things, right? So unfortunately, not everybody has that perspective, and that's okay. You know, not everybody. I'm not asking all of us to go out and save the world,
right? But
I do believe that if we invest more time in doing that, we can change a community, you know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, is that we all have a responsibility to enrich our communities. That means wherever you live, wherever you do business, you have a responsibility to enrich that community. I have a responsibility to enrich the community of people that are around me, and especially people that look like me. And like, I'm never gonna shirk that responsibility. So I do whatever I can to just keep doing what I'm doing. Like I said, I'm not doing it for anything. I do it because it's satisfying. It fulfills me, and it also serves as a bit of a it sort of helps me mentally, you know, to even deal more with the things I'm going through.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. Yeah, talk about that.
Yeah,
I know you said before we came on air that I don't know, guys. Sometimes
I'm
good, and then sometimes I'm dealing with it.
Exactly. So there's no, you know, people like, okay, so here's some of the things people said to, but you're so young, but you don't look like you're sick, but you look like you're a strong guy. Like, come on, man, you know, shake it off. Like, what? Shake it off. You know, and you look like a strong guy, and you know, so I understand people don't mean, you know, they're not saying that with any malice or any ill intent, but the reality of it is that we all have our battles, right? And all of us, some of it mental, some may be mental, some may be physical,
right? Some
may be emotional, whatever it is, but we all have our battles. So, you know, we just got to make sure that as we're going through things, one, we give ourselves grace. My friend always reminds me that, you know, give yourself grace. Don't beat yourself up. If you have a day where you feel down, if you have a day where you feel totally dejected and you don't want to do anything, don't beat yourself up, because that's you as a human being going through an emotion, going through something that is normal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. Stage 3 cancer, 2 heart attacks, and another coronary incident that led to me having now 4 stents, and then going back into the hospital in April last month for a blood infection where I was in there for 11 days. So if I have a bad day, should I be mad at myself? No, I went through some stuff. You know what I'm saying? But then I also have to show gratitude, because there are people going through it worse than me. You know, there are people who are in stage 4 who may not survive. There are people who, you know, have, you know, maybe are double amputees or something of the sort. So the reality of it is that while it's okay to allow yourself to feel and process your emotions, don't let it keep you down, because you still have life. Like, you still can get up and breathe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, every day I get up, I give thanks. You know what I'm saying? And when I don't, God slaps me in the back of the head. Like, yo, son, you don't know me, bro? You know what I'm saying? You know, so, but I give thanks. You know, I give thanks for the day. I give thanks for my life. Even if I'm feeling crappy, I give thanks, because, you know, the reality of it is, like I said, I didn't have to be here. So I was given an opportunity to still be here. 2 heart attacks? Some people don't survive one.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
So I'm going to be grateful. And the fortunate thing for me is I had 2 heart attacks and fortunately not a lot of damage done to my heart. So my heart still functions exceptionally well. I don't have heart failure, which, if you don't understand heart failure, it's when your ejection fraction is very low. So that means you're so fatigued, you're moving at a slower pace, and it can be reversed through diet and exercise and so forth. But, it's again, something that sets you back even further. So I'm fortunate. So I give thanks for everything that I have and I keep pushing forward.
Wow.
Because at any instant it can be gone.
Wow. What a testimony. I mean, bro, this is...
That's
crazy.
deep. That's deep, man.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
deep.
yeah.
It's deep. We were at your birthday party.
Yeah. In March. Yeah.
I saw a man who was grateful.
Yeah.
Like I saw you were happy.
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
Turning
taking
up.
pictures,
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
turning up.
Yeah.
And like I'm like, yo, you're going through all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm having chills because I could see you at the party. I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
seeing you at the party, and you were having a good time.
Yeah, I was having
but
a good
you're
time.
going through all of this stuff.
Yeah.
But that's the positive mindset.
Yeah, definitely.
And I give you props for that,
I
man.
appreciate it, man.
So I want to know more about this event. When exactly is it again?
So the Black Men's Health Festival, or Heart, Body, and Soul, that takes place. The first event is going to be June 4th at Restoration Plaza.
All right.
So June 4th at Restoration Plaza, we're kicking off with a ride for Black Men's Health. And that's going to be a bicycle ride from Restoration Plaza to Prospect Park and back. And that's going to start 9 a.m. registration, 10 a.m. the ride.
So it's very interactive.
Very interactive. We'll have, doctors on site to talk to people. We'll have healthcare practitioners as far as, holistic practitioners as well to talk to you about other forms of treatment like acupuncture, massage therapy, things like that. Mm-hmm. And it's just a well-rounded event for people to come out and learn more about things that concerning their health, and their options. We also made sure to do something with New York City Department of Health where they'll come out and educate people on their options as far as insurance, because a lot of people don't go to the doctor because they may be uninsured, and they don't realize that they can get access to affordable insurance, based on their income, or that, especially if we talk about undocumented people now, that they can also get access to insurance in New York City. You know what I'm saying? So I want to make sure that people know they have options. Just because you're undocumented doesn't mean you can't get healthcare in the city. Right. That's a beautiful thing about New York City, and so that's very important. I especially want, because undocumented folks, I know what it's like, because, when I came here, things weren't all, peaches and cream. And so I know what it's like to have that worry and concern, like, oh, can I do this? Can I do that? Right. But in New York City, you can. So I want people to take advantage of that. You working to feed your family and you working 7 days a week, but you still got to take care of you. Because if you fall down, if you drop down dead today, was you know what I'm saying? Right. So I just want us to get in the mindset of remembering we have to put ourselves first. It's nothing selfish in putting yourself first. We have this belief, and you're selfish. You only think about yourself. No, if you only think about yourself, that's fine. That's totally different. But you have to think about yourself first before you can take care of anybody else. True. You know what I'm saying? That's love you before you can love somebody else.
You talk about it on the plane.
Yeah.
You put the mask.
Yeah, exactly.
Same
it's the same thing.
Right.
Because how am I gonna, provide for my family if I'm laid up in the hospital?
You gotta empower yourself first.
Yeah.
As you're talking, I'm having these visions and about this event, and I'm like, I see you traveling with this event. And
That's the plan. That's the plan.
plan.
That's the plan.
Just
Taking it from
preaching the
city to
gospel
city.
about men's health.
Yeah, taking it from city to city.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like, for the first, listen, I shouldn't say for the first time. I've had other visions of things that I want to do, because I'm very passionate about media as well. Right. But going through this, I felt like this was like, it was calling me. You know what I'm saying? It was calling me. Like, even when I was in pain, I'm sitting in the hospital, I'm thinking about, like, hey, I want to do this. And I was getting calls. Like, actually, the last time I was in the hospital, I got a call from a sister who is one of the dopest publicists out there. And I'll reveal it later on, but she called me while I was in the hospital going through the blood infection, and we were talking, and I was telling her about what I was doing, and she was like, Chris, you're in the hospital and you're talking to me about this? I was like, yeah, you know, I'm like, hey, you know, I'm on my meds and whatever, so I'm okay, you know. So she's like, you know, I'm telling her what I'm going through, and then I told her about the event, and she's like, so I said, you know, I reached out to you because I wanted you to refer me to a publicist, because I didn't think I could afford her, because she's like next level, like, you know, she does American Black Film Festival, you know, which is like a huge film festival in Miami, which I'm sure you're familiar with. Yes. You know, like she's serious. So then she says to me, Chris, I got you. And I'm like blown away.
Wow.
You know, and it's like it's a blessing, because, you know, I could have never imagined it. So this is why I know certain things I need to be done, because all the pieces keep falling into place. Even when I feel like I don't want to do it, even when I feel like I'm like, okay, I can't do this, I got to cancel it, things start to happen, and I'm like, okay, I'm doing it. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so
no, ultimate hustler, bro.
Yeah. Hey, man, I get it.
Sure. Get it done.
We Caribbean. No, no, but you know what it is? That's Black people, though.
Right.
You know, that's us. That's what we do. You know, in the face of adversity, you know, we take lemons and turn it into lemonade.
True.
You know, something that's sour and we make it sweet and palatable. You know, that's what we do as Black people. And so, you know, that's why I'm proud of who I am, and I'm proud of my Blackness. You know what I'm saying? I'll never hide that. I'll never, you know, like try to be like, hey, Tom, how are you? You know, feeling kind of good today. You know, like, nah, you know, this is who I am. This is who I am.
Throughout this process,
can
you share with us a few people, family members that's really, you know, you've been able to kind of lean on for support emotionally?
Oh, you're gonna have me call out names, son. Damn. I'm like, what if I forget somebody though? You know what I'm saying? No. So my parents, my parents have been ride or die. You know, they with me, you know,
that's what's up.
Taking care of everything. Tony, you know, that's my right hand, my
Shout
lady.
Out Tony.
Yeah. She's been with me. I've had, you know, I have my homegirl Debbie, my boy Peter, you know, my boy Davu, like, oh, you know, there's all these people, you know, my boy Gringo, like just like who just showed up and are there. You know, there's even more names, and forgive me if I forgot, because I know you're gonna watch and you're gonna be like, Chris, you didn't call my name, you know, but you know who you are. Like, everybody's showed up and showed out, you know, and you know, even if they're not physically there, they're calling to check on me. They're sending me uplifting messages. Like my homegirl Carrie Ann, like she's always like, you know, sending me uplifting messages, you know, and just pushing me, you know, and encouraging me and reminding me to give myself grace. Because that's always been my biggest challenge. I'm my own worst critic. So like, I beat myself up if I don't get something done. If I knew I had 10 things to do today and I did 3, I beat the crap out of myself for that. You know, and I'm mad and I get in a mood, but it's okay. You're never going to be able to accomplish everything.
Right.
So as long as you did the 3 most important things, you're all right. You know, it's just a question of prioritization. So that's what I do. I get up in the morning, I prioritize, I do my checklist. Okay, I have to do this, and this. And I know if I get to, at least I get to the top 2 or the top 3, I'm okay. The rest can wait for the next day, you know?
Wow.
So,
yeah.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, man. And I listen, I got to thank y'all, man, because you guys, you know, Rob, glad I'm not knocking you. Rob and I just been texting each other. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate both of you and Rob for following up with me and for encouraging me to come here and be able to share. I appreciate you guys giving me this platform. You know, it's much appreciated.
No, this was something that had to get done.
Yeah,
you know, especially for the event. Not just for the event, just to, because you just never know.
Yeah.
Like in the beginning, like Glad said, like you just never know who you're gonna inspire, who you're gonna just send that message to, and you're a testimony.
Yeah,
so you gotta talk about it.
Yeah,
gotta talk about it for sure.
Hands down.
We appreciate you, man, for coming out, man.
Thank you, man.
It means a lot. It means
Thanks
a lot.
for having me, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You want to do the?
Yeah. Do you have any other questions?
Well, I was gonna say something to y'all.
Go
One
ahead.
thing I want to leave. I'm leaving. This is very important. It's a call to action for you guys.
Okay.
You gotta go. So the next time I talk to you, make sure you get your checkup and know what's going on with your cholesterol. You know, when was the last time you've been to the doctor?
2 days ago, actually.
Oh, okay. All right. So you did blood work and everything.
Did my blood work and everything.
Okay. What about you?
Last year.
Yeah, all right. So you got to go this year.
Okay.
All right. This year. Both of you also this year need to schedule a colonoscopy.
Yep.
All right, because we're in that age group now where it's very important. Have any of you done a colonoscopy before?
Nah, I've been talking about it.
You've been talking about it. Yeah. Do it like ASAP.
Okay.
Because there are things that could be going on that it's not going to be picked up on anything else. You know what I'm saying? So get that colonoscopy done ASAP. Like once you hit a certain age, it's very important. And even though they're saying like in your 40s, sometimes in your 30s, because you see what happened to Chadwick Boseman. He was a young brother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That was unexpected. That someone so young would get diagnosed with colon cancer and check out at such a young age. So definitely, please.
Gotcha.
Just I want you to hit me and be like, yo, Chris, I spoke to, and if you need a gastroenterologist, I have really good ones that I can refer.
Okay.
But a sister who's Haitian too, she's Haitian. I can refer her. She's a gastroenterologist and she's in the city.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely get that done.
Get it done.
ASAP
Yeah.
Rocky,
All right,
for
cool.
sure.
All right, Joe, you hear that?
All right. When did you do yours? When did you do? Oh yeah, definitely.
So after you do one, how often should you?
So it's gonna. So the GI doctor will tell you, right? If they found polyps, and anything, polyps are these little tiny things that they find that could be cancerous or maybe not. If they find that, then chances are they'll probably tell you come back next year. So they'll tell you to do it a couple times until they see everything is clear. If they find nothing, then they'll tell you, hey, maybe come back in 2-3 years. Or they maybe tell you come back in 5 years. But it's also going to depend on your age and any other health factors, like if you have a history in your family of colon cancer or stomach cancer or anything like that. So based on that, based on your statistics and what's going on in your family and how you eat and how you present, they'll tell you
Gotcha.
what to do. But I encourage folks, anybody who's paying attention to this, to get, if you've never done a colonoscopy and you're in your 40s, go get it done.
For sure.
Yeah, man.
And your prostate, right?
Oh, and your prostate. Don't forget that.
Ooh,
bro. So since you brought that up, I'm gonna dive into this real quick. So brothers get nervous. They don't want anybody going back there, because that's the back door. Nothing is supposed to go back there. But listen, at the end of the day, you have one body. There's nothing else. Like it's not like this one is done. I'm gonna rent a new one.
This is it.
This is the one body you have. So why not take care of it?
Right.
What are you worried about? It's just an examination. It really is. It's
definitely was a tough one.
It was tough. Listen. I'm not saying. Listen, I'm not saying it's easy, because I've had it done a couple of times, and I'm not saying it's easy. But I put my mind at ease knowing that it's part of me taking care of my health.
True.
And the worst thing that can happen, people are like, oh, well, I don't want to know this and I don't want it. But actually, you should know, because knowing gives you an opportunity to plan. Even if knowing gives you information that says you only have 6 months to live. Dude, if I find out I got 6 months to live, I'm in planning mode. I'm like, oh, word? Okay, so I'm going to do, this and that, and I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to enjoy the hell out of those 6 months. As opposed to you not doing anything, going in the hospital and checking out the next day. You know what I'm saying? So like, why not know?
Fear.
Why not know? Like, fear is, my dad always tell me, fear is false expectations appearing real.
Right.
All right. So I'm not going to believe something that like, it's false. Like, why am I, like, first of all, what is it that I fear? Why am I fearing it?
I think, to answer your question,
Yeah.
I think a lot of especially like our parents' generation, they just don't want to know the answer.
Right.
They don't want the
Yeah.
outcome.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I noticed that, especially, in black families.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to go to the doctor because I know there's something wrong with me.
Right.
I just don't
want to know what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
But think about it. Again, we come back to family, and we come back to that feeling that you say you love your family and you want the best for them. Then you need to want the best for yourself. So we have to get out of the mindset. And I know it's hard because it's generations and generations and generations of thinking this way. But at some point, we have to break the cycle.
Sure.
So it's going to take time. It's going to take work. But we just got to put in the work and put in the time and make it happen. And like I said, as long as I have breath in me, I'm going to keep putting in the time, putting in the work, until it's my last day on this planet. And that's it. So y'all just gotta join me. I'm gonna be dragging y'all wherever,
No, we in there. When is, I'm sorry, repeat the day of
So June 4th is the Ride for Men's Health, Ride for
Restoration.
Black Men's Health at Restoration Plaza. Then June 11th, I'm doing Ask the Doctor at the Hip Hop Closet in Brooklyn. And June 26th is gonna be like our wrap up, event. But all throughout the month of June, there'll be like a bunch of mini things happening. So the website will be up, and I'll put that on my Instagram. But for now, people can just follow the IG, Chris Factor. I'll keep you guys up to date on what's happening.
That's dope, bro.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Appreciate you.
So we're gonna do the surprise question. I'm gonna do something a little different.
Okay.
Because one of the most popular questions that people pull out of this is, have you found your purpose?
Right.
So before you pull this out, pause.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say to you,
Yeah.
have you found your purpose?
Yeah, definitely.
And what is it?
Yo, my purpose is to give. My purpose is to give. It's just give just really, and give freely. In other words, with no expectation of anything, and so whether that be giving through sharing media or giving through like sharing my experience and helping others to find their path, that's what it is. And, it probably goes deeper than that, but I would say that's my primary purpose. And that's what I'm doing. Cause what's funny is I didn't realize I've been doing that all my life. Like people would call me for advice. People would say, yo, I'm starting a business. What do you think about this? And that's what I do. I would give my time with no expectation of anything in return. No money, nothing like that. And there are people who would just, of course, they wouldn't say thank you or they would go on and do their thing, get big, and then forget, certain things. But it's okay because I gave freely. I didn't give with an expectation. I didn't give with, a desire to have you like, cut me a check or anything. I just gave because I learned something that I could pass on. And I'm not going to change that about myself. However, I will be wiser and make sure that I'm selecting the group of people that I'm working with. I'm being very selective because I need to also protect my energy, and protect my space. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well said, brother.
Yeah. Go for it.
Oh boy, this is serious. Okay. I don't know what I picked. Let's see. Oh,
random question.
Oh, how have you grown in the last year? Wow.
That goes.
Yeah.
Coincides to
purpose. Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Exactly.
Nice.
That's interesting that I got this question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold on to this.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think I definitely have grown, and I can say that I've grown in terms of patience, tolerance, and grace. Just having a more of an understanding that I should be kinder to myself. I'm not kind to myself at times. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I have these expectations that I need to do certain things and I need to get it done by a certain time. And I beat myself up when it doesn't happen. And sometimes I get into a funk, like for days I'll be in a funk.
That Pisces funk.
Yeah, that's that Pisces thing. Yeah. We sensitive, man. We special people. But so I've learned now to, when that happens, to just step back and be like, yo, Chris, son, like for real, it's okay. It's all right. Like you having these challenges, you're going through these issues. And so you need to take a beat. Just take a beat, relax, and that's it. So definitely grown, and I'm still growing, because I'm still learning to be more patient. I'm still learning to be more tolerant. I'm still learning to be kinder to myself, and I'm still learning to be patient with others. Because that's another thing. I'm impatient with other people too. I'm like, get into, I'm not gonna cuss. I'm gonna be clean. But the bottom line is, I'm learning to do those things. So I've grown and I'm growing, and I think I'll always be growing throughout my life, man. I believe it's important to be in a state of constantly learning and growing and improving yourself. Because we're never gonna be perfect. But we should always be looking to improve something about ourselves on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying? So anybody who tells you they the same person, I mean, you shouldn't be the same person. Right. So that's why when people say, oh, you get rich and switch, Jamaicans always say, oh, you get rich and switch. But you're supposed to change when you get to a certain level in life. Yeah, so if you become wealthy you know, you shouldn't be hanging on the street corner, you know what I'm saying, anymore, and shooting dice, because now, you know, you food. Like, you're food. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people out here want to eat. So you have to learn to shift. And you can still hang with some of your boys or whatever. But if you know there's some cats around you that's feral, don't hang with them. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Somebody got inspired tonight.
Wow. Beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
This had to be like one of the most
Absolutely.
like,
Yo, y'all gassing me, man. Don't be gassing me, man.
Chills, bro. Like, chills.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
We're gonna have you back on sometime in the future for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
So keep promoting and talking about what you're doing with this beautiful event.
I appreciate it.
Where can people find you?
So you can find me on IG, Chris Factor, Twitter, Chris Factor. And of course you can check out our website for where it's at. It's Go Where It's At, and that's GOWHEREITZAT.com. And you know, there'll be more information like when you follow all those different platforms that I'll be sharing. And of course you can find me Team Zoc Passe, you know.
No doubt.
And we need to have you guys in Where It's At as well, because this, you know, there's a lot that's happening, especially with the Roots of Brooklyn. You know, shout out to the Nazi.
You repping it heavy.
You know, Zoc Passe and Roots of Brooklyn. Shout out, because this is
Right.
every time I wear this, like people are like, yo, where'd you get that? And then I have the Jamaican patch on there. They're like, yo, where you get that? I'm like, yo, chill. Special edition, exclusive.
That's what's up, man. Well, we appreciate you.
Appreciate y'all.
Rob, I want to keep talking, but we got housekeeping house, my brother.
Wow. Yes. Team Zoc Passe podcast. Remember, Team Zoc Passe podcast. You'll find us, all the information actually be down below. You'll find us, subscribe, share, comment below.
No doubt.
Subscribe, share, comment below. You're going to find Chris's information. Remember, Team Zoc Passe podcast. And Chris, thank you, my brother.
Nah, thank y'all.
Yeah,
man.
we
Glad.
definitely
appreciate
appreciate you coming out, and finally, bro.
I appreciate it, man.
This is your time, bro.
Yeah, it's my time. Definitely.
It's your time,
definitely.
man.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
See great things, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
For sure. Yeah. Team Zoc Passe, till next time.
We out.
We out.